The gentleman from Missouri, Mr. Cleaver, is now recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for being here. In some ways, I want to follow up or at least respond to the very civil, but I think reason of why we need an independent central bank. And your response was, you know, the question you raised would, if I answered it, it would be along some kind of a political avenue, and you didn't want to drive on that avenue. So I'm also very much concerned about a lot of the discussion. I've been on this committee a while, and so it comes up quite often. When the Federal Reserve was birthed around the turn of the century, I think, around 1913, 1918, somewhere like that. Prior to the establishment of the central bank, was our country experiencing a lot of recessions because of no security? People felt no security, particularly the business community, in making big investments because nobody was in control. Just kind of think what went on just went on. Is that relevant?
Yes, I think the lack of a central bank between 1836 and the founding of the Fed was a period of lots and lots of depressions, and a lot of it had to do with the crop cycle and the banks not being able to handle the very large seasonal swings, and there was no central bank to provide liquidity. So that's really what gave rise to the founding of the Fed in the early part of the last century.
Do you think that it is dangerous to blend monetary policy and fiscal policy?
To blend them?
Yes.
So we try to keep them very separate, and we try not to express views on fiscal policy that's for elected people who have undergone elections and won and make those very difficult decisions. We have a really specific, narrow but important mandate that you've given us, and we try to stick to that. And so we take your policies as given, and then we conduct monetary policy with that.
I don't want to draw you into any kind of a political response, but and I have not read all of this Project 2025 document. I read some of it online a couple of nights ago, but even whether it comes out of a 2025 or a 3089, whatever, one of the things that I'm concerned about, reading this from this document, that the document argues that the Federal Reserve is the inflation problem, and eliminating the Federal Reserve, imposing economic policy on the Fed that does not come from within the Fed. So I'm wondering here, would you agree with any of that I just stated, whether it came from me or Chairman McHenry or anybody else?
So I'll just say, first of all, we're certainly fair game for any criticism people have. I think what we've learned and what we know is that having an independent central bank is really essential. If you want to have high and volatile inflation, then the quickest road to that would be to undermine the independence of the central bank, of the Fed in our case. So I frankly think that view is very widely held. I find up here on Capitol Hill in both political parties.
So eliminating the Federal Reserve is best for promoting economic stability.
Yes.
Thank you. I knew that the ranking member was going to come in and deal with the issue of housing. She always does, and we all appreciate the fact that she's obsessed with it, and I like that obsession. But I'm wondering, as we try to figure out how to deal with this issue. Oh my goodness, my time's running out.
Was that a question?
I didn't finish it, but I sure, yes, if you knew where I was going, please.
Gentleman's time's expired.